Hi, everyone. My name is Abbas. I'm the COO of Umbra. Just to give you some quick context on what Umbra does, Umbra is currently a privacy application that you can use for anything on-chain, especially on Solana. So if you want privacy, de-link your addresses, be able to participate on-chain, hide your trades from your friends, not be able to show that you bought Fartcoin. One of our use cases was primarily that. We did not want people to know what we were buying on-chain. So Umbra worked just fine for us. But the thesis for Umbra and the vision and mission has grown over the last, especially 9 months since we raised on MetaDAO. And I just wanted to walk through what that means for the company and what we're doing next. So if I want anyone to take away something from Umbra today, that would be these three things: privacy, security, and ownership. And I'm going to base the entire keynote just on this. So we have a massive problem with data in general, massively. Everything that you do right now online, whether it's to centralized exchanges, whether it's applications, your tax accountant reports, could be anything. It's all being leaked, analyzed in real time, and that's a massive problem. AI just makes it worse. You want to try and curb that problem, try and avoid being in a situation which makes it extremely hard for you, not just today, but maybe 10 years from now when LLMs just get insanely much more better. Like it's already worse, but it could just get worse and worse with time. You are tracked, analyzed, and always ready to be attacked. The number of attacks in Paris alone have increased in the last, I'd say the first quarter of 26 by 50% compared to the entirety of last year. And that's massive. So it's not exactly safe to be out there with all of your information about what you hold, what you own, how do you trade, what's your net worth, and then assign all of that back to what your general value is as as a participant on chain, whether it's on crypto Twitter or somewhere else. But where do we start? What do we care about as Umbra? I think for us, it really matters to understand what a sensitivity to privacy is for a user. So that means we tend to think someone who's participating on chain as a retail trader probably cares about privacy the most, or probably has this expression of privacy that, hey, I'd like to bet on Zcash, I'd like to bet on Umbra or some other token to express my bet on privacy. But most of them probably don't care as much because the value they trade in is not as important to them. So it probably falls not so high up in the sensitivity area, not as payments for retail, but there's a massive audience base over here. Could be investing for token distributions, payroll, OTC, and institutional trading. And these are companies and clients we already actively spoken to. So that's feedback we've received and we're constantly working on. And you'll see more of this in the presentation that we've already explored and delivered on. So Umbra's core mission, we have two things we really care about deeply: own your money and move your money. What that means is ownership for anything and everything. I do believe true private property ownership has never been done before. I mean, you could own a gold bar back in your backyard and like bury it somewhere, but it's not really true ownership because you have less access to it. You cannot move that capital that easily. You cannot sell it. So on-chain solved for that, but now we have a privacy problem. So finally, if you could bring back the fact that you can own any asset on-chain privately and in a secure world, and not just a particular sovereign asset like BTC or Zcash, but anything and everything. You like holding dino fossils, go ahead, store your value in dino fossils, but it's all private, and we can do that for you. Move your money. Naturally, you don't want to hold your capital in an idle, shielded pool for the rest of your life. That's a big problem with more shielded capital privacy on chain, where you're stuck holding capital forever to achieve some level of privacy. And the big bet is, hey, you're going to use this at some point 10 years from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. It's not exactly attractive. The vast majority of participants want to actively use daily privacy for active use cases, and we want to go after that market as well. So what can you do today? You can actually use Umbra products to achieve this privacy. So we have this base layer of applications that you can start using. So Umbra web app, app.umbraprivacy.com lets you do that. So you can move USDC, SOL, any asset on chain, easily de-link addresses and participate on chain privately. You can use the iOS and Android wallet and the extension, and all of these sync together. So essentially, you should be able to sync all of them and sign transactions on your phone while you're using a web application. So it's a much better UX for privacy versus what we had prior to this. That is, you had to go to an application and isolate yourself to an environment and then move capital back to your whatever use case that you had. So now you can swap, transfer all of it, same place. And that's the big pitch we have. We also moved into trying to bring privacy to spaces that people are already in. So like I said, you want to be in spots where people care about sensitivity to privacy extremely high, and payroll is an obvious spot. People care about what I get paid, and I care about what my colleague gets paid. So if you want to obfuscate that, hide that, ensure there's privacy on that level, you're going to work on that front. And we did this. We built out a product for privacy, fully end to end, so you could shield any amount of capital and move it privately, pay your employees, but also your employees could withdraw it in their bank accounts privately too. We had about 250,000 plus in volume so far. And this is not swap volumes. This is sticky capital that moves to the pool. So it's actually part of the pool and contributes to it. And we're going to work on improving it much more. So you'll see like a public access mode. This is, by the way, a private access. So like a few companies on it. And we're seeing growth here. So we're going to double down on this space. Lastly, on that front, we realize there's two ways of building this business out. That is, we have this retail consumer side, and then they have these actual products with enterprises. So on that front, you can either go and build out your own MVP and prove something out, or you can work with a team that really does it well. So Streamflow does vesting really well. They've done billions in volume over the last few years. We decided to partner with them, and they're working with us actively to deploy private vesting to their clients. And we're going to keep doing that for the next, and that's the plan for the next year. Bringing us to what the future of Umbra holds. We're changing things. We're moving further from what we've done prior to this. Umbra is no longer just an application layer. We are going to be an infra layer, and that's the big announcement we have. We're going to move on to a multi-asset shielded pool. So if anyone's used Umbra or private pools in general, you would know that your privacy and anonymity is limited to the one pool that you have as part of the program. So let's say if you're moving Sol, you have to wait for someone else to move Sol within the pool for the anonymity score to build up and then be able to move it privately. Now with a multi-asset shielded pool, you could have essentially n number of tokens in the pool, any asset available. Like you can see, Amazon stock, gold, dinos, trade whatever you want, all part of the same pool, and they all contribute to the anonymity of the pool. So I could move an Amazon stock, and if Ansem is trading within the pool, then, well, I get anonymity because of it. So my trades and my swaps are faster, my transfers are faster, and they're more private in general. And we're also coming to the EVM soon. So we'll be working with a partner actively to deploy this on the EVM, so on Solana as well as EVM. You'll see Umbra pretty soon. All right, this just explains what the improved anonymity means, more visual. If you want to take pictures, you'd probably be able to visualize it better. We'll have a lot more material come out on this over the next week or so you can always consume that. And this is a quick video on what it means for the new architecture for us. It's a massive improvement. You see 10x faster swaps, faster transfers, and it contributes to us being able to offer custom environments and fees for our partners, for tokens. So a lot of customizability in general. The prior UX, which is still a part of the system today, but that's what we're going to progress towards, is extremely clunky. It had multiple sign-ins and not the favorite UI and UX of any user for that matter. So we're going to fix that. Next, we have Umbra Builder Codes. We're focusing on expanding the universe of participants in Umbra, so easy APIs for access. Go ahead and build whatever you want using Umbra Privacy. And then you can also have custom programmatic fees as part of the system. So if you want to build an application that does trading using Umbra Privacy, we can have custom fees part of it exclusively for you as a partner. And like I said over here, custom zones and a bunch of other options for you to have flexible environments for your specific use case. And we have some massive announcements, actually. We're going to launch Umbra USD. First thing we wanted to do was, as part of our product offering, make it easier for someone to engage with essentially an incentive-based token that allows them to earn yield without compromising on anonymity. So we're going to work towards that, and hopefully we'll have more details soon. Second, this is the latest development, actually. We've seen all of this noise about tokenized yield that's private in most pools. So we wanted to find a way to offer that service and product without compromising on anonymity. So if you had, let's say, 100K USDC, and if you want to access a DeFi pool for yield, you have to leave Umbra pools or any shielded pool for that matter, and that compromises anonymity for you in general. So to avoid that, you can now have tokenized yield markets with Overpass. We've just announced recently, we'll go live pretty soon publicly as well. And we've already secured about 300K in value in these pools. So that's a massive opportunity for anyone that wants to have privacy at the same time also be able to accrue yield to their assets. Lastly, we'll announce more of this, but we have a private debit card coming. And of course, I think you can guess where we'd probably go with this, but essentially we'll have it as part of our payroll system to allow anyone to not just earn capital privately, but also spend it. So being able to withdraw that capital probably decreases anonymity to an extent. So if you could spend it directly, it's massively helpful, especially to an employee. Bringing it full circle back to everyone, if y'all are interested in more on what Umbra does, how does it engage with MetaDAO, we've spent a lot of time trying to pull together a website that has everything from our quarterly reports, our transparency reports, our TVL, and our trackers, all that we can account for, because after all, we are a privacy company. There's only so much we can track. But the things that we can track, we do try and publish over here. So you'll be able to consume all these reports, engage with us further. And if you want to engage as an investor holder, you can do that as well. So let's say if you're someone who holds 10K Umbra, participate with us, engage with us, level up, and talk to us as a team. But if you hold no Umbra and if you just want to get started, we do believe you have value still to provide. You can actively contribute on tasks and earn your level up on the platform and still engage with us. So it's not just for people who are massive token holders that work with us. Lastly, I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want everyone to scan this, and we're going to have an experience. Let's see if it works out. And I want someone to share what they've got, or anyone. And it's not going to work for everyone because it's going to run out, so it's limited. So whoever gets it, I guess. Mister, anyone? What'd you get? Yeah? Ew. And this is private, by the way. So, uh, pretty soon you can own any asset on chain privately, not just stocks, like I said, fossils, collectibles, all of it should be available on chain for you. And I'd love for you guys to post about it, and we'll launch these pools sometime next week or the week after. And people should be able to shield any amount of capital. Like I said, we all benefit from participating in the network. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thanks so much.